You're welcome to my YouTube channel, Business Simplified. I hope you've subscribed. Feel free to like, share, and comment. Today we will look at question approach because we need to excel in paper 2. Why not? So we are going to use a case study, and we shall use October-November 2024. For you to be able to gain a lot of knowledge from this video, you need to have read through the insert, and the insert is for sustainable attire, October-November exam 2024. So you need to have your case study on your side, read through it thoroughly, underline anything that you feel will work as application, so that as we look through how best you could answer these paper 2 questions, then we are at par. So I have chosen a few questions from the entire paper because, like I said at the start, the video is about equipping you with skills to answer paper 2. So I have chosen question 1 and question 3, like we shall see. So question 1 is explain 2 ways the slump in country P's economy may be affecting SA. And this question has 8 marks. So in paper 2, if a part A question has 8 marks and they want only 2 ways, this means the amount of work you're going to write for every way is a little more because you're working for 4 marks for 1 way. So you have to write a little more. That is something you must bear in mind because you're working for 8 marks and yet you're providing only 2 answers. That means that you need to spice up your answer with a lot of analysis and with a lot of application. So this is a sample answer. And also, without forgetting that on part A, they may want you to use application from the case study, or they may not need application from the case study. Now, in our case here, the fact that the business name has been mentioned, SA, Sustainable Attire, it is very evident that we must write our answers with evidence from the case study. But in case the question is general and has not mentioned anything relating to the case study, then you don't have to provide evidence or application from the case study. I hope that is clearly understood. So the first way is there is less demand for SA's products. Now in this video, I'm not going to talk a lot. All you need to note down right now is, with knowledge, I have used brown, less demand, that is knowledge, that gives you the knowledge mark. Then with analysis or explanation, I have used color green. Whereas for color blue, that points out application, because this question requires us to use application words from the case study. So the first way is there is less demand for SA's products, and the explanation is the slump means people's incomes are lower as some are rendered unemployed, so they may not afford SA's high quality products, especially since they may be placed at higher prices than competitors due to higher quality. This means less sales and profit for SA. Now this is a sample answer. Do you feel like this answer deserves 4 marks? Do you feel like this answer deserves 2 marks? That's a question for you to answer. So please, with color brown, that is for the knowledge mark. And then green again is for analysis or explanation. And then color blue is for application. It is also important to note that if you're answering a question in paper 2 and you want to earn 4 marks for each point, then you need to use more application words from the case study in the same answer, or your analysis needs to be a little more, like you can see in way number 1. Then way number 2, we are saying that SA may have to reduce payment to workers to survive, and that is knowledge, which could affect production negatively in case a slump persists. So the business may be earning low revenue due to lower sales and could be struggling to cover costs. Thus request workers to change from full-time to part-time. This itself is demotivating if it happens for a long time and can reduce quality of clothes, consequently affecting SA's brand image. You must make sure that you use words such as thus, consequently, leading to, so that you're able to connect the effect to SA like the question has asked you. Part B, consider each of the following 3 business objectives for SA. Which objective is likely to be the most important for SA? Justify your answer. Now for part B, always answer the question in bits. For example, in this case, consider each of the following 3 business objectives for SA. Consider that full stop. And then now you start answering. Just stop there and start answering. Increase profit, increase market share, survive. And then the other bit of the question, the other bit of which objective is likely to be the most important for SA, you're going to answer that question in your recommendation, in your conclusion. So we have those 3 objectives and we are going to see how best you could answer them. So the first objective is to increase profit, and we're saying that since SA is in the private sector of the economy and its main goal is to make profit, so this means that increasing profit is a must for this business. Increased profit may allow SA to expand as well as open up even more shops, thus higher output of quality clothes. It also allows higher dividends to be paid to shareholders as it is a public limited company. Then the other objective that we've been asked to talk about is increase market share. And then the other objective is to survive. So this is the time where you may need to pause and look through those answers. And with the guidance of the colors that I talked about, I'm very sure you can look at those sample answers and perhaps always write better answers as you write your questions. That is survival. And then now the conclusion. When you're writing a conclusion on part B or a recommendation, you will choose which point you support from the 3. And then tell us why you support this point and tell us why you do not support the other 2 points. For example, in this conclusion, and meanwhile this is a student's conclusion, this student says, I think to survive is the most important. Since the country's economy has been in a slump, so careful consideration is needed to ensure that revenue balances with costs so that the business can still exist. And then he goes ahead to give us reasons why he does not support the other 2 objectives. So he says increasing profit may tempt workers into asking for higher wages, and if SA cannot abide, it may lose experienced, skilled workers or have its reputation damaged. Increasing market share may be less important since SA's clothes are already known for being high quality. Very important to note is, when you're writing the conclusion, when you're writing the recommendation on part B, tell us a reason why you support one side, and then also give us the reason why you do not support the other side. So this brings me to number 3 of the same paper, Sustainable Attire. So number 3A was explain 4 roles of packaging for a business. Like you can see in this question is a bit different from question 1. And since this is a general question, then it does not need us to chip in application from the case study. Because remember I said that if part A talks about the business name, then there you're required to give application from the case study. But in this case, the business name SA Sustainable Attire has not been mentioned. So this is a general question and it requires general answers. Also important to note, this question requires us to give 4 answers and then you're able to earn 8 marks. What does that mean? This means that for each role, you're going to gain a knowledge mark and then you also gain an analysis mark. Analysis is like explaining. I hope that is understood. It is knowledge and analysis because the question does not require us to get evidence from the case study. And of course also the fact that you want 4 answers for 8 marks. So it is very obvious that each point will earn you only 2 marks. So role number 1 is protects the product from damage so the quality remains high. So look at all those answers. It is also again time for you to pause and then you look at which point gives you knowledge and then at what point do you earn the analysis mark. I thank you for listening and for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, to share, to like, to comment so that we take our learning to the next level.